This is a message from your guides reading for Human Angel. Okay, so I have 4 crystals here. Really quick, before I get into the reading, I'm just going to tell you I need a new picture because I keep meaning to email you and tell you that I need a new picture and I keep forgetting. So I'm remembering right now, so I'll just tell you in the video. All right, so let's see. Oh, I need to surround us in some protective space. Okay, so I'll use the selenite to surround us in some protective energy for the reading. Okay, you definitely have a thought form that is coming out. It looks like some kind of reptilian seed there coming out, and it looks like it doesn't look like it's coming out your head. It looks like it's coming out your roots. Okay, so getting to the crystals. So I have my fuchsite here. This has to do with relaying information or like having information relayed to you. In other words, receiving information, gathering information. It's just all information. That's what's coming through about this fuchsite. It can be other things, obviously, but that's what's coming through right now for your reading. Okay, then I have sunstone here. So the sunstone and the selenite are actually for the whole group. So sunstone has to do with your sacral and especially with your solar plexus. The solar plexus is kind of thought of as a sun, and the thing about the solar plexus is that when it's working optimally, it will charge all of the other chakras. Then the sacral as well, it actually clears all of the other chakras when it's clear itself and it's operating correctly. So those 2 chakras specifically, they tend to enhance the others when they're working properly themselves. Then I have here my tiger's eye. So this has kind of an enhancing kind of energy as well that it brings vitality. It definitely brings kind of a charged kind of energy, and that's really what I'm feeling with the sunstone. It has to do with really the solar plexus charging all of the other chakras, and that's been kind of a theme with all of the readings today for that stone. Then the selenite has to do with connecting to a higher energy and clearing yourself of negative energies, entity attachments even, or thought forms. I don't really feel like anyone in our group has an entity attachment, but some of your thought forms, it's not only because they're pretty developed, but it's because of how sensitive you are to their energies around you. It can almost feel like an entity. For instance, I remember one time telling this lady who owned this like a new age shop, I was telling her that sometimes I'll feel like I think it's an entity, and then I turn and my cat is walking by. It's actually just my cat came into the room, and she said, wow, your cat must be like have a lot of energy or be like kind of advanced or something, like an older soul kind of cat. I really don't think that's what it was, though. I think I was actually just so sensitive to energy that even though my cat was more kind of a normal cat, like she was a great cat, but she was not, she didn't really seem that way to me, like some really advanced soul cat or something. It just seemed like I would have done that with any animal, really. If it walked into the room, I might feel it almost like as if an entity is walking into the room. Obviously, it is a soul that's coming into the room in a vehicle. But it just kind of showed how sensitive I was to picking up on energies. So she might be sensitive enough to feel something that has a really intense, strong energy and it's very aware of itself, and it comes into the room like an archangel or something, especially if it's trying to get her attention. But maybe if her cat walks in the room, she's not necessarily going to feel her cat. Obviously not, because she had cats as well. So I feel like you picking up on these thought forms, even if they feel like entities at times, I don't really feel like they are entities. I feel like it might just feel that way to you sometimes just because of how advanced you are. And so their energies might just feel much more intense to you than it would for like a normal person who didn't have this ability. Not that you're not normal, but you know what I'm saying. And frankly, I would rather be abnormal if that's what this is or means. Okay, so I've got an archangel in the room. This really feels like Archangel Michael to me. This feels more like you've invited him. It doesn't feel like he is your guide specifically, but it feels like he's guiding you right now with some specific things. I know you mentioned at one point you were doing some kind of meditation with Archangel Michael, so I feel like that's the reason that he's here. You've been calling on him for a while, or you were anyway calling on him for a little while. And I feel like he's been around your energy field since then. He's helping you clear some of this past life stuff. I'm just realizing how it almost feels like water, I don't know, feels like raises my vibration or something. I just kind of realized that, because anytime the energy gets kind of intense, like there's a high vibration near me, I realize I have to drink water. So clearly that must heighten my energy in some way to drink water. I don't know why I'm supposed to be saying that right now. That must be also for your reading that I'm supposed to say that. I definitely have to drink some more. This is actually the second reading where Archangel Michael, something about Archangel Michael and working with him has come up. The first one, though, I mean today with my Patreon readings in general, this is the first one where he's actually come up during the reading, though, during a reading. I feel like he's the reason that this reptilian seed is coming out. So I feel like this thing was going all the way up into your throat chakra. It seems like it had some kind of tail, and it feels like the end of the tail was in your throat chakra. But then where it actually started was, wait a minute, hold on. It feels like where it actually started. I was going to say your root, but he's saying the sacral is where it started. So that's kind of the root of this thing where it began. So it seems like it mostly moved up, it mostly grew up, in other words, but also down as well. So it kind of expanded itself into your root chakra and then all the way up into your throat chakra also. It feels very fear-based. It feels like it pulls things to you. I feel like you have some other thought forms that are like this. It's like actual thought forms that pull things, like negative things, to you. They cause things not to manifest, or they just cause negative things to happen to you. Or they just cause you to not experience something that you would prefer and that you would want. And then on top of that, you have other thought forms that kind of surround you and send you these emotions about that. But you have actual things as well that cause it. Or that like push things and send things away that you would want. Or they cause things to, they almost create kind of a momentum where things happen that you don't want, and it's almost like they happen faster. So things that you would want happen slower, things that you don't want happen faster. There's a feeling like. And this actually just has to do with some thought forms that you've had for a long time. That literally, it's like they just purposefully send things away or try to create certain things by attracting them to you. It also feels like, okay, let's say, as a for instance of what they would do, so they can cause something external with energy. So let's say you have two people, and it's like a thought form can almost place its energy there and get them to see one another incorrectly, and then you have other thought forms that can kind of go along with the one that's sending out this energy, and these people can end up almost fighting or arguing out of it. So it can cause like this kind of discord out of it. Or sometimes I feel like you wouldn't even necessarily need the other thought forms. If this put out enough energy, it could probably create that on its own, just by sending out this kind of disturbing kind of frequency and coding people in it. They're going to see each other inaccurately, and they're going to start fighting, or they're going to say something to one another, and there's going to be something unpleasant or something that doesn't go well from that when it comes to communication. But then there's a feeling like you could also do something else by just coding a person in a certain energy. They might just attract things to themselves just because of the energy that's placed on them, because everything has to do with energy. And the energy that you put out, it causes different energies to come back to you, etc. Obviously. So it feels like that's the way that these things specifically operate. It just has to do with coding you in an energy. They don't even have to do anything or say anything. It feels like they're to that point now. Now it feels like this is pretty interesting. for me, because I don't know if I've heard of a thought form only doing that. I feel like at first they were sending you specific things to gain energy, but it feels like now it doesn't feel like they really do that anymore. It feels like they just coach you in a certain energy, and the way that they gain energy back is because something happens in response to their energy. It could be you respond, but it doesn't actually even have to be you responding. It can actually be they coach you in this energy. Now, you still have to be agreeing with it in some way, but the thing is, you don't have to consciously be in agreement with it. That's what's so kind of nasty about that. That's what's kind of difficult about that is it can feel a little bit more helpless, like you don't have as much say or as much control over something like that. But this is also why Archangel Michael is there as well and stepping in. It's also to help kind of combat some of that with his energy. So I feel like calling on energies like that, specifically like archangel types of energies to surround yourself in, it feels like it will start combating some of that. And you can say this specifically. It's good when you call any kind of entity to help you, whatever being type it is. It's very good to state exactly what it is that you want help with, why you are calling them there, and ask if they will help you with it. So it's good to state things, in other words, in a really clear way. I feel like female archangels as well, not only masculine. So the two that would come to mind would be Ariel, Gabriel. There's also Sophia. I don't really know of any others. Those are the three that I specifically know of. There might be some other female archangels. Of course, there's a male Gabriel as well, but I know that there is a female Gabriel. Or oftentimes Gabriel is presented in a female way, but sometimes I've seen them presented in a masculine way as well. So I feel like there's more than one entity that you can call by that name. Probably by any of these names, there might be more than one. So I feel like it's just your intent, because I feel like you kind of need a balance of both. And for some reason, I'm getting Uriel specifically as well. I don't know exactly what Uriel does, but I feel like calling him specifically would be good. I'm also getting Metatron. Metatron would be a really good energy to call on, and then the other one I get is Raphael. So Archangel Michael is already there. I feel like he's going to be coming anyway. You can call on him to kind of enhance what he's already doing. That definitely helps. But I also feel like he already knows what to do, so it's not like you would need to, go on. You wouldn't need to ask him necessarily to do this or that. You could ask him maybe help me today type of thing, but you wouldn't, in other words, have to say exactly what it is he needs to help you with, like you would want to do with the other angels. So there's these four male male archangels that's coming in that would be good to call on. So there's Archangel Michael, who's already present. There's then there's the female angels. There's Gabriel. There's Ariel, Sophia. Those are the ones that I specifically know of. Maybe there are others. For the males, though, it feels like why do I keep getting Gabriel with that as well? Or is Gabriel just here now all of a sudden? That is definitely another archangel that's in the room now. This is a really high energy. Yeah, he's or she. I'm not sure which one this is, but this archangel is reminding me, yeah, this was the vibration that you were originally on. So this is really high, a really high, clear, very authoritative energy, a very powerful, very masculine energy. Usually with the archangels, a lot of times I'll feel a lot of masculine, kind of really authoritative type of energy. And powerful, obviously, I can feel someone with a lot of feminine energy. They're going to feel powerful. But I would say this energy feels intense. And obviously there are different types of a powerful kind of feeling. But this specifically, it feels very masculine. Okay, so this feels like a female archangel. I couldn't even tell the difference at first. I cannot tell if she was male or female at all. Okay. So this feels like Archangel Gabriel. Like I said, there's a male Archangel Gabriel as well. Then there's another energy here though that definitely feels female. This just feels like maybe one of your guides. It doesn't feel like the same kind of energy. It feels angelic. I think. Woo! This is almost a little bit disorienting. There's so much high energy in the room. I have to like sort out the different ones, and they all feel really kind of intense. Okay. Okay, so yeah, there's one here that's just one of your guides. And it feels like a female angel. This one behind me feels like Gabriel. And it feels like the female Gabriel is what it feels like. Okay, so I'm going to try and say these names again. So it was Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Metatron was the other one. And then these female archangels, I only know of 3. There are a lot of other male archangels that you just hear about in stories and things like that. Obviously, there are really just as many female archangels as male archangels, but we just don't know the names necessarily of as many of them. At least I don't, but I'm pretty sure that it's just more common, like with documented archangels, it's more males. I think probably just because, especially way back when people were writing this stuff, that would be more what they would expect or accept. This Gabriel energy is coming really in really intensely. So she's definitely going to be helping you with something. I also feel like part of the reason they're coming in such an intense way is to even get across, because I definitely feel her energy kind of on me. The point is that they're helping to take away from this other energy and kind of coat you in their own energy, while at the same time diminishing um, these thought forms, pulling energy away from them. And kind of helping you to sort of cope with them or deal with them, where things start getting better, because it doesn't feel like they're just going to go immediately. It feels like these are still going to be there for a while longer to a degree. And I feel like over time I feel like it's just gonna keep on and on decreasing. I feel like it's already decreased some, but I also feel like it's gonna happen more rapidly. So I also don't feel like it's just gonna be drawn out forever either. That's definitely not what they mean or what they're indicating, but they are saying that it is going to take just some more time. I don't feel like it's a long time. I also don't feel like it's a really short amount of time, so I don't feel like it's like a really quick fix. But at the same time, I feel like they can start coding you in something else and almost help prepare you for a new energy. And even feeling differently about yourself in general. I feel like this is something that you need to incorporate when you're tapping into these specific energies and realizing that this is the vibration that you were on. I feel like that can be a really empowering thing to know that. That's why he was stating that. I feel like they want you to feel empowered in a sense, like you're in control, like you can harness this energy, and you can enhance your current situation with your own energy. So in other words, you're not a victim to it. You're not a victim to anything, and you're not a victim to these thought forms that they're pointing out. But obviously, they're going to point them out to you because you're not a victim to them, which means that you have the ability to remove these things. They're basically saying it like to take them out and cast them away, kind of thing. And detach them from yourself also, it feels like. So I feel like the more that you call on these energies, the more that they're going to be around you. Even though they're not specifically your guides, I feel like they can come to you in an intense way for the reason that this was the vibration that you were on. And so your soul really matches this vibration and this frequency. And so that's really something that you can pull from to, again, enhance your situation and your life, and also make this clearing process happen a little bit more quickly. I don't feel like it's just going to happen overnight like they said, but I do feel like it can be sped up to a degree, and I feel like that will help you. And it will help you to just see a little bit more of the results. And that's something that they want to help you with as well. Sometimes it can be like, oh, I know that I cleared something, and your guides are trying to make it very obvious to you with these dreams and different things that you're getting. But at the same time, it's like, I don't feel like I did necessarily, because of all that the thought forms that you still have are constantly attempting to send you and even cause around you, like we're aware of now. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much for allowing me, or, well, it wasn't only your guides, but for allowing me to connect to your guides and these other energies that are assisting you. I truly hope that this reading benefits you. As always, namaste.